What's good? What's good, people? This your boy Scott Lewis, Apartment Gamer and more. Today was Media Day. What's up? How y'all everybody's doing? Y'all, it was interesting to hear actually some of the players talk and some of the rookies, and we kind of know they're gonna say what they, the positive thing, which is good, you know, and I'm gonna find this season to be real interesting. I think Cam gonna be ready. He has no choice but to put that work in. I know a lot of us are saying this team can't win no more than 10 or 15, and I'm looking on X, and everybody is talking about uh, it is a failure if they win more than 15 games. Come on, man. We went through a season where we just won 20 something games, and you can't just keep losing. You can't think that just losing is going to get you a draft pick, and eventually you're going to get lucky and get some generational pick that's going to actually take you out into this, winning streak. You have it's all on Sean, and of course we have to go with his projection or what he think these players are going to turn out to be, and how we have no choice but to wait and see exactly what you have. It's possible that we can have a 30-win team. I know a lot of people look at me and say 30 wins. Scott, you don't know what you're talking about, but it's possible. And knowing Jordy, he's not going into the season trying to be a loser or lose in general. It's more like everybody's going to play hard, and you know what happens when you play hard. You get wins. A lot of teams don't do that. They don't play defense. They ain't going to run up and down the court all day, all game. It's a hustle thing, and Jordy believes in that type of fast-paced defense and offense, and the way he plays it. Uh, it's almost like small ball, but it's not really. And another complaint that everyone did was we needed height. All right, now we have height in the backcourt, and I mean, so can we have a 30-win season and still be good in the draft? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, the past two picks, the past two lotteries, or the past two drafts, we actually watched teams that made it in the play-in get the number one pick. Now you could say that it's you know luck or whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't guarantee anything by just losing. You don't learn from just losing. It's a two-way thing. You learn from your mistakes. That's true. But you also learn from winning as well. So I don't get that thinking of just lose and get another pick. And then next year, if somebody is not this good this year, there's no growth in what's possible with some of these these rookies. If we see these rookies come in and actually get better as the season go on, and we still win over 25 games, you're going to say, oh, we won too many games. But the growth of the rookies mean a lot. The growth of the team means a lot. Now, no doubt, a lot of people is not going to be on this team. Some people are going to go to the G League. When you have that's just that's what happened when you draft 5 first round picks. That's what happens when you have so many draft picks. So are they going to be able to get a chance to play in the league and enough minutes to where they learn? That's the key. So, um, hey Gallo, what's up, man? Yeah, what you think about the media day? Did you see any of the tapes? Did you see the video? Did you watch it live? Did you check out Yes Network? You know, my thing is, I've been paying attention to the actual. Well, it's early, and right now a lot of us don't. It's like a new thing, It's new to us because we haven't had a first round pick in a long time. We haven't had a a single pick in the lottery in years. I mean, this is new to me. Yeah, the floor is the pick still matters. The next year draft, especially the top three, looks like franchise players, which we need. If you are a bottom team, the lowest you can get is pick five. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. What happens? Oh well, technically they say, yeah, the lowest you can get if you the bottom of the bottom, the lowest you can get is five. Even I believe what happened is they guarantee that you will get the fifth pick somehow. I don't know how a lottery can guarantee a fifth pick, but in this case, the way they situated the lottery, you can get the fifth pick. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a franchise player. I understand that a lot of people believe the fifth pick is just as talented as the first, second, and third. I don't think so. There's a difference. So that's just me. I don't know. Maybe you can luck up. This draft can be different, but you don't know what that fifth pick gonna be. You don't know who would fit that fifth pick, and it has a lot to do with vision. As far as the GM is concerned, Sean has to have vision on where this team is going and what core do he want to have on that floor to build from. And every year is going to be different. Every year is going to be fluent. There's money involved, um, injuries involved, coaches involved. I mean, it's so many variables to get a good team together. It's difficult to actually build, and not to mention that the way the draft is and the way teams are being built now with these tiers in the CBA is these teams don't want to go into that tier two. Well, do you understand what I'm saying? They want the flexibility to pick up free agents. And if you get into that tier, you take yourself out of that. That hurts a lot of teams. Now, it might not hurt the Nets as well. It would hurt the Nets because I think Sean wants to get veterans, or he believes in a little bit of both, veterans as well as young players. And you ain't gonna have a team full of young players. When you look at how OKC did their thing, Shea was really not a young guy. I mean, he's young, but he's been around the block. He played a little bit. They had developed that team with picks as well as veterans. So it's similar. You want to keep that like that in order to keep the cap down. If you get a bunch of veterans, how many? 3, 4, and then you almost kill your cap. So what you going to get? You're going to be like some teams. Like I'm not saying the Knicks are a bad team, but you get veterans that want to take a pay cut. So now you're getting people who want to take just the minimum. How are you building a team like that? I don't get it. I just saw the MPJ going to watch the rest of it later. Oh, okay. All right. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. I mean, you ain't missing too much. I mean, the guys say what this is media day. You know they're going to say positive things and what they did this summer. So, I mean, it's so early. I can't even really fathom how this team is going to look because nobody's played any ball. It's hard, and making content on just speculation is not what I wanted to do. So, you know, it's really difficult right now to talk ball without anybody playing. It's based on the math of it. You can fall lower than 5, but you are right. It's still a gamble because in the end, you never know how any player you draft will turn out. That's true. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying, okay, Igor might be better than the 6th pick. He might have a better season. The situation is in play for him to actually show his skill on the team that we know they not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the East. We know that. We know they in this transition to build. We know the Nets are in that. But the question is, will he get enough time on the floor to develop? That's the key. I mean, and as our first lottery pick in a long time, he's going to get that chance. Now, of course, it's going to be ups and downs. Of course. Of course, it's going to be ups and downs. Of course. So, they'll do fine. It's just that losing weighs on the players as well as the fans, as well as the coaches, as well as the organization. This is New York. This is Brooklyn, baby. We don't want to lose. We ain't believing it. There ain't no losing in us. We don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate that. At least we know that if we lose, we are progressing. As players are progressing, we see something out of these draft picks that can develop. We see something out of our veterans, and play hard, man. Brooklyn style. I'm gonna show some X. I was on X, and I read a lot on X. I know everybody gets on there and kind of write a little bit about what's going on and stuff. But my whole thing is, I was checking out Igor, and Igor was kind of dope. So let me bring this up. Okay. All right. going on? Okay. Let's take a look at this. Let me see what's going on with this guy.
First thing I did when I got here for the pre-draft workout is talking to Jordy in Spanish. And, I mean, both could work. I'm not making him yell at me, but I'm assuming it's going to happen at some point. So whatever feels comfortable for him, that's for sure.
And did that help your comfortability too, just having that in your back pocket as well, being multilingual?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And, you know, I'm a really curious person in basketball and in the life. So, you know, I think it's an advantage of mine that I had a chance to learn another language without even wanting to do that. And now I think that's, you know, I'm not regretting that I did. So and now I'm learning French too, so I can speak with Nolan a little more.
Now, you're wearing 8, and the late, great Kobe Bryant also wore 8. And I'm just wondering, is there ever going to be a time, because, you know, trash talk goes on in the NBA. Now you could do it like Kobe in 3 different languages.
Right, right. Yeah, that's probably something I'm trying to get into, but probably not either. You know, I'm not a big trash talker either. I prefer to enjoy the game and not to bother the karma.
Luka Doncic, having come through the same system that you did, how big of a player is he in Real Madrid? Do they talk about him all the time? Is that someone that a lot of the younger players look up to and aspire to be?
Honestly, Luka in Real Madrid is like a mysterious, you know, figure for all the kids in case of like they talk about him like there's legends. There's legends about him. That's, you know, it's almost, I want to say there's an icon on the wall with his picture. I think he's one of the biggest figures.
Well, that being said, he has a lot of story, and I wasn't aware that he followed behind Luka in his quest to be in the NBA. Oh, it would be beautiful if some Luka rubs off on him, right? Word up. We was checking out the Flatbush 5 is the new name of the 5 rookies.
First thing I did when I got here for the pre.
Yeah, so I just want to show this. Now, when you look at it, that actually made our backcourt much taller. I mean, everybody, the lowest one I think is 6'6". I think Nolan is more like 6'5". But these 5 rookies, I mean, they all over 6 feet, over 6'6", about 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 7 feet, you know. So instantly he's trying to get a bigger backcourt. I don't know if that actually materialized to being a winning team, but, you know, hey, you need a bigger team. That's for sure. Terrence Mann did some talking, and let's check out Terrence Mann.
Personally, I'm super excited. I'm real happy for myself to be able to experience this in my career. Not a lot of people get to experience this. Being back, place you were born, playing in front of your family. They now get to see me super close level, not having to stay up till 1 a.m. to watch my games and text me complaining that my games were too late and stuff like that. So I'm excited for it. My family's excited for it. And, I'm ready to tackle the season.
Terrence, has it tripped you out how much the neighborhood has changed?
Yeah, I talk about it every day, actually. Just driving around Park Slope area, Kensington area, all the new builds, people looking different, just a whole different vibe. I was walking around downtown Brooklyn when Barclays wasn't even there, so just different. The Modell's is now Brooklyn Basketball Training Center. I used to buy my soccer gear there, so just weird, but it's cool.
Wow. Yeah, and I can relate to what he's saying because I'm from Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Bed-Stuy. I was raised in Fort Greene, so I always was downtown. I remember when the Barclay wasn't even there myself. Big thing with the Jay-Z thing and all that. But my whole thing is when you look at it, I wasn't aware that Terrace Mann was practically raised in Brooklyn. Like, you know, and this is a 360 thing to him. So, but no, I don't know. How would he remember the Barclay Center has been there? Okay. All right. He was young then. He must have been with his mother. Okay. Cool. Cool. Let's listen to what Cam got to say. This is going to be, woo, my man, my dude. Let's see if I can bring this up.
Take the qualifying offer rather than whatever
Okay.
they had put on the table.
Yeah, I'd rather control my situation. As a player, that's the type of control you want in your situation. So I just wanted to keep that aspect of it. And that doesn't really matter with the conversations where I'm just here to play my game, keep doing what I was doing, keep playing, really just enjoying my 5th year here. As you know, that'll be my 5th year here with the team that drafted me, and really just enjoying the moment, being where my feet are, and just gonna finish the year, and we'll see what happens. But I'm happy to be here, happy to play in front of the fans again. I love playing here, so I can't wait to get started.
Take the qualifying offer.
I believe him. I believe him. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I believe what he's saying. I think he knows that, there's a fan base here that cares about him. Now, I know this story. Everybody want to sit back and say, he took the qualifying offer. That means he really trying to look to get out. He's betting on himself. And, I just hope that he sticks around. I hope that somehow he sticks around. But if not, I understand the nature of basketball and these games and the way the free agency is. Sometimes GMs pivot from their direction and they want to try to achieve something else in mid-stride. Sometimes you just pick like somebody who can fit at that moment. So Cam been here 5 years, so you got to remember Kyrie and Durant and all that stuff, and James Harden was here, and with Cam Thomas it fit. Like you had this young gun on the bench. Now whether they utilized him the way they should have, he had to grow fast, because it was his rookie year and he came in. Whatever situation that came up, it affected his trajectory as far as his place on the team. And I think it changed the way Sean wanted to go because coaches change. So, and once the coaches changed, it changed. I don't know if it was from the owner who said we need to change our direction, and they decided to change to where they want to be. But I hope Cam gets. I know Cam is a baller, and ballers once they start balling, they ain't thinking about nothing else. So he's thinking about getting, doing his thing, and it'll work for him. Because. He all he got to do is steady improve on other little aspects of his game, and he'll fit. Whether he be here or not, he's gonna go somewhere else and if he get the opportunity, he's gonna do his thing, and net fans gonna be crying about, well, why we let him go, and I don't want to hear it then, because you know what type of player he is. He's a scorer, and we know that. So, okay, so it ain't that many players on the team that can say that. That's what he does. So, I found Noah Clowney to be interesting, and he had some interesting comments. I hope Noah improved his little game. His game might be pivotal for the Nets. When you look at the Nets roster, and I'm gonna bring their roster up so you can see, their roster is tight. It's not like their roster is not tight. Their roster is tight. And to me, it's just that it's a lot of young players. Okay? So that I can understand the transition to a lot of losses because you got a lot of young players. Of course. Of course. So let's look at MPJ, media talk, a little bit of talk, and I'm going to bring it up.
I've never been around a group of guys in the that takes so much pride in like all the little things. Like every day they're keeping track of all the little ticks on your body and creating programs for us and things like this. And Denver was great, but this is a whole new level of like attention to detail that I haven't been a part of. Obviously, I've only been in Denver, but even the guys in the locker room just telling me stories of guys that would get traded here and be like, man, this is completely different than where I'm. It was the same thing for me. Like their attention to detail and pushing you and kind of seeing you progress and then changing your program. And that's in the weight room, but that's also on the court as well. And Connor, who's one of the main guys putting me through my workouts, he was also in Denver for a number of years. So that's also another familiar face for me. But yeah, those rumors are definitely true that they are above board on all those things, 100%. I've never been around a group of guys in the that takes so much pride in like all the little things. Like every day they're keeping track of all the little ticks on your body and creating programs for us and things like this. And Denver was great, but this is a whole new level of like attention to detail that I haven't been a part of. Obviously, I've only been in Denver, but
clearly, when you think about it, we know the Nets is a Nets organization got a facility and coaching that that's above and beyond. So some places don't have these resources, but that doesn't guarantee victories, of course. But what I'm saying is they definitely have it going on. So if, as a player, you want to, you're amazed at it probably because you don't see it in detail like that so much. So, but let's see what else see if anybody else posted anything. Or Claxon.
More than I could have imagined.
Your brother said this was his first workout. I'm gonna assume it was yours.
Yeah, it was my first too.
Yeah, well, what was the experience like?
It was fun. Like I expected this. I had people tell me like what it's gonna be like. I asked a lot of questions, so.
That's the Blazers. Let me go to Nets Twitter and see what's going on. If I can get it. There it go. Well, let's take a look at the roster. All right. I mean, a lot of people are saying, and if you listen to what people say about Kobe buffing, that Atlanta had no choice but to give it away, and the fans would say that it was a good move for Atlanta. Then when you listen to what other people say, they say it was a good pickup for Brooklyn. I mean, everything. One thing, you know, what I love about basketball, and I think most of us can agree with that, is no matter what you say, no matter how you play, no matter how you draft, it all leaves on the court. The court answer all questions. All questions are answered on the court. It really is. And if it's meant to be for him to be here, and he turns out to be, you know, pretty good and works out, what our backcourt going to look like with all these players, man? What is our backcourt looking like? Jordy going to run a 12-man rotation, or he going to run a 10-man rotation? I'm quite sure. I believe he would run a 10-man rotation regardless. What do y'all think? Do y'all think he would? I'm curious. I'm curious on what people think Jordy would do with most of it. And yes, some of these players are going to end up in the G League. So don't worry about like reaching that 15. But that whole 15, you want to play some of those guys to see where they at, you know, to give them a taste of what the NBA is. Gallo says, I wish Cam Thomas and the organization could have agreed on a deal. I was praying on it. Maybe it wasn't meant to be, but I sure enough was praying that they would. It's something heading into the season that really bothers me. Obviously, nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's like a thorn. It's like something you got to do when you functioning and you're saying, I gotta make sure this get done, you know, and it's right here, right beside your head, right in your ear, matter of fact, and you know it's there. You try to ignore it. You're gonna just play, you know, like I said, the court. Once you get on the court, all things are forgotten. So as long as we see him playing, we're not thinking about whether it's, you know, strife in the rankings, you know. But what we looking at is a baller, a player, and the game, and that's what we look at. But you know, in the back of your mind, you might not see him again, and that kind of messed me up a little bit, because Cam is one of those people I thought was going to be like the face or part of a face of the Brooklyn Nets for the next 2 or 3 years, but apparently, I don't know. I haven't seen too much of his face in advertisement since this contract, if you want to call it a dispute. The way Sean and Cam are talking about it in media day is like there's no real problem, you know. So, of course, I knew they were going to say that, you know. Cam is not looking for trouble. He's just looking to get paid. That's all. It's just unfortunate that the Nets had the ball in their court and nobody else was willing to play or make a move or give them an option, you know, put the pressure on. But don't get it twisted. If they let Cam go, if they were to let him go, somebody gonna pick him up. Somebody gonna pick him up. There's always a player that's needed with that skill set in the NBA. Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, Igor Deman, Tyson. I can't say his name. The star means he's a two-way contract. Okay. Haywood Highsmith, Little, EJ Little, two-way contract as well. Terrence Mann, Therese Martin, Michael Porter Jr. Now, speaking of Therese Martin, not that I wish that he would be gone or something like that, but I didn't think he would make the roster. I was surprised that they kept him on. Well, it's not too late, but you know what I'm saying. Michael Porter Jr., Drake Powell, Ben Saraf, Day'Ron Sharp, and I'm looking for a lot from Day'Ron Sharp. Day'Ron Sharp is one of those type of people that I think a lot of us are going to underestimate him, and he's going to have a good season. Cam Thomas, of course. Cam is one of those players that proven himself to at least some degree on this team. That has a real skill set as lead scorer. Yeah, like I said, he's not going to be in the G League or out of the league, or he's going to be in the league. Whether he be on the Nets, that's up to them. But he's going to be on a team, and please don't be a team that we know in the East. We're going to have a hard time with him, boy. He's one of those players you do not want to see. Trust me. I don't know how you just not want to sign him. I don't know. Tell him something. Give him another year. Give him. I think what Cam want is stability. He want to know that you know. That's what all players want. Give him a 4-year deal. Give him a 4-year. I don't think he particularly cared with the team option because he knows what you want to do with the team option. But he wants to be home. He wants to make this home. Or let him go someplace else and make home. I think a lot of players prefer that in some cases. And it's not always about money directly, if you know what I mean. Sometimes it's your situation too. Like, you want to, of course, like, I mean, you know, some players, some people like working in better conditions where they know they want it. Simple. Makes a big difference. And since he's been here, he's seen how many? 3 coaches? So what stability have you shown? Nets organization. All right, let's keep going on the list. Cam Thomas. I'm surprised Drew Timmy is still on the roster on training camp, but you know, not to get it twisted. I mean, I enjoyed his gameplay. He hustled. And he got a skill set. Noah Troy, Derek Whitehead. That's another one that I'm not hearing anything about Derek. I'm not hearing anything, which is not a good thing when you're not hearing nothing. It might be a prove it time for him. It might actually be a prove it time for him to be in a league. So he need to come out and do a little something special. Zaire Williams, he seemed like congratulations, you had a baby. Jalen Wilson and Danny Wolf, which is, I enjoy Danny Wolf, and I'm dying to see Fambo. You know, actually, when you look at this roster, it's like when you build a roster as a GM, you hope that one of these guys explode on the scene. You know, like they take this next step they become this, threat. They becomes this when teams have these reports. This is this guy you got to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? Just like Cam. Cam is one of those players that you go and look at. Oh, this guy, he can light it up on you. You see what I'm saying? So apparently, one of these guys, I believe, might be one of these guys coming from outside this year. And I'm not necessarily saying the rookies, because the rookies are going to be rookies. We know what, it's a big difference from college or, well, in the case of college, but in the case of Ben Sharaf and Nolan, and in some way, even Igor, that playing in the Euro League kind of gives them a head up on what to expect. But there is still another notch in the NBA, and the game is consistent. It's like, you're going to be playing every other day, traveling every day, and it runs up on you like halfway through 40 games. Your body, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. It's a different beast, and it just gets more intense as you go on. Teams get better, or some teams get worse at that point. You're gonna know who's who. You're gonna know who ain't gonna make it, and you're gonna know who's gonna make it. It's gonna look love for the Nets when they start the season. The question is how they gonna look as the season go, and that's the question. And who's going to be the one that's going to be able to keep up with the season as it progresses, Like I said, some of these guys are going to go into the G League. Don't be surprised that Igor goes to the G League for a day or two. You already got an injury. That's not a good look. You're already coming out the block with foot problems. Get it together. Get it together. You need to, you need to show for these fans, man. Get it together. So, that being said, let's go back. I wanted to discuss the starting five that I think would be a starting five, but I'm a wait on that, and the only reason why is I want to see some gameplay, and I know all of us want to see somebody, we want to see some ball. So, and don't forget, in Bed-Stuy, Saturday, I think it's the 27th, practice in the park. So that's going to be, I'm going to be there. A lot of content creators are going to be there. Hopefully a lot of the fans will be there. And I'll be glad to see some of the players and see how they look. I mean, TV does well, but it's also good to show support and to see some other fans just like me. We all fans, so we're gonna all show up. So show up if you can. Let me see what else is going on here. Now, that's a big news, and I wasn't going to even talk about it, but Van Vliet thing. And a lot of people want to sit back and said that maybe we should try to get rid of Cam, and I disagree with that. I disagree with trying to trade him to the Rockets to get our pick back for 2027, I believe it is, that they have. Cam is not a point guard. So I don't even know why the Houston will want him. I mean, I know why they would want him, but why would they have to trade a first round pick to get him when and this is what gets me about us, and I mean us fans, including me and all other content creators. We all have our little say about how we feel about Cam's game and how it fits. What I'm saying is you downgrade him and then you want to make him a number one a trade to get a number one. That either he's worthy of being traded for a number one or he's not. And you can't sit there and say, "Oh, he's slow. He ain't got no defense. He don't pass the ball." And then when you want to trade him, oh, we can get a number one for him. All these things that you just said negate the trade. You make it seem like he's not worthy of a number one pick. I know he is. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't make any sense. Houston don't want Cam. They need a guard to replace him until he get better. If not, for the season. I think he's gonna be out for the whole season. So I mean, okay, that's all right. That's the rest of the league. So that being said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see who I want on the team. Let me bring this list up. Who I think the starting five is. I think the starting five is. Do I need to make it bigger for y'all to see? Okay, that's good enough, right? All right. This is who I think the starting five would be. This is without seeing them play. Igor Dubin, guard. Cam Thomas, second guard. Noah Clowney. Noah Clowney, small forward. No, the 4. Michael Porter Jr., the small forward. And Nick Claxton, the center. That's our starting five. That's our starting five. Igor, Cam, Michael Porter Jr., Noah Clowney, and Nick Claxton. That's my starting five. I don't know what y'all think it is, what y'all think, what y'all don't think, what you like it, you don't like it. Do you have do you have something that you think might be better? I don't know. You could, and it was difficult for me to even make that exertion because I don't really know how one or two players are going to come out. But you could even say, I thought maybe Kobe Buffkin, if he's still on a roster, if he make the 15, that he would be starting over Igor. Now, this is just my starting five. It doesn't necessarily mean Igor don't get no role. He's going to get some role. So, okay, that's it. I think that's kind of good enough. And I think that works. I would roll with that kind of roster. I would roll with that roster. No, but y'all got to tell me what y'all think, man. Honestly, I think that, the Nets going to have a decent season. I don't think they're going to have a bad season. I just think that it's going to be ups and downs. They still going to have a losing record. So, I mean, because you're definitely going to play your young guys. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see players get better. And that's the main thing. That's what I'm looking forward to. You have to take what you can out of this and to see where it can go, So, but I think the season is going to be great. And anybody want to disagree or agree, you can leave a comment. But I'm gonna wrap it up and see. Actually, training camp starts tomorrow, so don't forget tomorrow training camp. It'll probably be some more video out there about our players, and I'm gonna see if I can gather some up and bring it up. I'm gonna be on live tomorrow at the same bat time, 8:15. So let me back out. And let me say goodbye. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Talk about who your starting five would be. That's the question. I want to know who your starting five is in the comments. All right. Peace, everybody. Like and subscribe. It's your boy Scott Lewis, Apartment Gamer is out. Peace.